This is the creator-driven community. I'm Mark Builds It, and today we're going to talk about QuestDAO. So I get caught in this loop where I feel like I need to cover all the basics before I can start doing the thing that I really started this podcast for, which is to tell you about new things that I found. And then it occurred to me that this whole thing is asynchronous. Right now, nobody is watching these videos. Nobody's listening to the podcast. By the time they do, there's probably going to be a small collection of content to look through. So people will just search for the things they want, or they'll go back and pick and choose what they're listening to. So what I'm going to do is alternate back and forth between interesting projects and tools that I find, people that I think are worth listening to or following, and then I'll intersperse with some background stuff. So today I want to show you QuestDAO. Quest is trying to do four things at once. The first thing they're trying to do is create a platform that allows you to mint your own NFTs and then gate access to communities with the ownership of those NFTs. They're also going to build a DAO, and that DAO is going to be funded by their own NFT, which will be dropping either in February or March, depending upon what actually happens with this roadmap. And then the fourth thing is Quest School. And Quest School, I think with any Web3 platform right now, it's really important to have an arm that is dedicated purely to educating potential customers and users, because this is all really new and there's a lot to learn and a lot to take in. So Quest School does that. You can see that they've got a Web3 guide. You can download some information on the basics of NFTs. What is a DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization. I haven't spent a ton of time digging through this because a lot of the stuff that's covered in these I've picked up from other places. But if you didn't check out the Odyssey DAO guides, you might want to take a look at the QuestDAO guides. A lot of it, it's the same information, but it's sometimes interesting to see how different people take a look at it through a different lens. So let's talk about the Quest platform first. That platform is found on another website they own called creatornfts.xyz. And this is why they first caught my attention. What this platform allows you to do is connect your Ethereum wallet to your Instagram account and create your own NFTs based on your own Instagram posts. And then you can sell either one or thousands of copies of each post to people. You can make them available for purchase so that people can support your work. The reason this is interesting is because until this point, Instagram has really given creators no way to make money off of all the work they've put into building their accounts, except for taking money from advertisers. So what this does is it allows you to, let's say you put up a post, you mint 100 copies of that post as NFTs, and anybody who finds that post valuable can buy a copy of it and support you that way. Now, that doesn't mean that they own the intellectual property that's contained inside that post. It just means that they own a piece of it and they're able to show others on the blockchain that they support your work. Now, you can set up the IP so that it transfers directly to them so that they can actually use it to promote their own work, that they can use it as they see fit, and that you share a license with them. But that's up to you as the creator. The other thing that happens is there is a 5% royalty built right into the NFT, so that if someone buys all 100 copies because they think that this is a really significant post and everybody's going to want one day, if the post goes up in value or they're able to sell it for more than they paid for it, you get 5% of that sale each time it changes hands. They do this through a platform called Rarible. And Rarible is a value because they allow people to pay with credit cards. And right now it's a really huge pain to go from dollars to cryptocurrency to purchasing an NFT. So to be able to just put your credit card information in, buy an NFT to support a creator, that makes things really easy. Now, I know that Quest is planning on building their own minting platform that doesn't use Rarible's API. And that will allow them to take what is currently a 2.5% fee that gets paid to Rarible and use it to fund their business. So they'll be trading out the Rarible fee for a Quest fee, and it'll be basically the same. You don't have to just make NFTs out of Instagram posts. You can upload your own art and create your own posts. So that is a nice feature. And they're going to be moving forward, building out a product that allows you to build and interact with and manage communities based on NFTs as a gate key. So that will be really useful in the days to come. But that product is that feature is not up and running yet. So they just recently put out a video on the process of minting an NFT on your own using Instagram or using your own art. And I'll put a link to that in the notes from this episode. Okay, so how is Quest going to pay for all this? Well, so far they've kind of been working on their own. They've been funding this. They all have regular jobs and they kind of been doing this on the side. But going forward, they're going to be launching their own collection of NFTs. And with that money, they are going to be funding a DAO. So a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. The closest analog in the current world is a co-op. So people who own the tokens that belong to the DAO are the voting controllers of the DAO. And they are going to sell a collection of what they're calling pirate NFTs. And they're going to take the money from this sale and they're going to allocate 60% of it to the community wallet. This number, the 60% number, is really huge. I mean, most communities, when they generate an NFT collection, will put maybe 20% aside. But the entire purpose of this DAO is to use the money to invest in other NFTs. And the side benefit, the other 40%, goes to the developers to help fund further development and further products that will be accessible by the members of the DAO. So you've got 60% going to the community wallet, and then 50% of the royalties from secondary sales of the pirate NFTs also go into the wallet, which is also a pretty big number. So this could be, I don't know what they're going to set their royalty number at. It could be anywhere from 5 to 20% of secondary sales. Half of that money will go into the community treasury. It's up to the community to decide what to do with that money. So if they decide to invest in NFTs, these could be art NFTs, something that maybe is a good deal and the community thinks will go up in value, or they could be utility NFTs. And the utility NFT side is where it gets really interesting. Another thing that caught my attention is this NFT lending auction protocol that they're developing. And the way that works is if you have an NFT that grants you access to a party in New York City. Well, I don't live in New York City, and I'm rarely in New York City, but there may be someone who owns a pirate NFT, a Quest pirate NFT, that does and wants to go to the party that this NFT allows. Well, to just leave that thing sitting there and not use it is a waste. So all of the members who are in this club can bid on the utility of that NFT and use it for that weekend. They will be granted all the benefits of ownership during the time period that they bid on. They'll be able to use the NFT to get into a party, go to an event, and then when their time period is up, it goes back to the community treasury. And then all those funds that were raised in that auction, what that person paid, goes back into the community treasury to be reinvested in other NFTs. So it's a really great way to get access to utility of utility NFTs. Another thing to bring up is that by holding the NFTs that they're going to be minting, you're going to get access to the tools, the platform, the resources at a discount, or maybe that'll just be included. I think the community will have to decide on how that works. And here's a few other things that caught my attention. We've got the Web 3.0 platform, so that's the management and the community control aspect of things. They're going to be doing some charities, so they have opened up the door for the community to think about using some of the funds to donate to charities. The access to the blue chip NFTs, that's what we talked about with the lending auction protocol. The Launchpad. So this is another thing that's interesting. And this is something that I've seen in some of the communities that I've worked in on Web3, is that if you had an idea for a product or an NFT launch, you could pitch it to the group. And the group could just simply endorse it and say, hey, this is a great idea. You might find allies to help you work on it. Or you might even get the group to buy some of the initial NFTs to essentially invest, help you bootstrap this project. And Quest is going to create a platform for people to do that. And there are some other things like parties and a conference, and those things are a long ways off in the future. And these roadmaps, you have to kind of take them with a grain of salt. They may be very strictly followed, or they may pick and choose, because once the community takes over, it becomes the community's decision to see where things go. But it's important to take a look at these things so that you have an idea for where the founders were hoping things would go, because that's where they're going to try to steer things as time goes on.